All right, we're joined on the podium by head coach Steve Henson, P.J. Carter, and Christian Tucker. Coach, before we get into questions, could you give us some thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, thank you. Really, tale of two halves. You know, they dictated virtually everything in the first half. We struggled. You always look at your defense, and it didn't feel like our defense was quite good enough, but in reality it was. In the first half, just offensively, we couldn't get anything going. We really struggled on the offensive end. We held them to 40% from the field. We won enough battles on that end. We just couldn't get anything going. They were physical with us. And in halftime, we kind of flipped it. We started executing better. We started defending much better and kind of turned the tables on them a little bit, made a nice run there. Really proud of our guys. They showed some toughness, won a lot of battles. We've been switching a lot of things the last 5 or 6 ball games, and it turns into a lot of one-on-one defensive battles. Little guys have to battle the big guys in the post. Big guys have to fight the dribble against the guards, and they've continued to do that pretty well for about 6 straight ball games now. We just came up a little short.
All right, Coach, we'll start with anyone with questions in the room. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Over there in the second row on the left.
Coach, after the last-second loss to the same Temple team 3 days ago, followed by another close defeat today, what emotions are you and the team experiencing right now?
I think all the normal emotions, extreme disappointment. We were playing really good basketball for about four games leading into the Sunday game against Temple. Didn't feel like we played as well, anywhere near as well in that game as we had the previous 4 games. But yeah, just extremely disappointed. It's the nature of postseason play. It just ends. You know, you're out there and you're fighting your tails off, and guys are in the huddle playing with a lot of emotion, talking with a lot of emotion, rallying each other, pumping each other up, and then that horn goes off and it's over. So it's a very disappointing feeling.
And Christian, despite falling short in the end, the team showed a lot of fight and resilience in the second half. What was the mindset and mentality in the locker room during halftime?
Yeah, our whole thing this last 3 weeks has been believe, and we didn't give up. We knew that we can compete with this team. We didn't do enough of it in the first half, and we knew we had to bounce back in the second half. So we just came out fighting, and I mean, we won the second half, but we dug ourselves into too deep of a hole. So,
right here in front.
Coach, can you just take us through that last possession? You know, what was the play call, and what did you see from your perspective?
When we had the ball on the offensive end, we were out of timeouts. We'd already talked about exactly what we were going to do. It's a play we'd had in for quite a while. Just a little slip on the right side to give Tuck a chance to turn the corner, trying to peel back a shooter on one side and a seal in on the weak side. So it's a play we'd been spending a lot of time on, ready to run it. We didn't have any timeouts, so we had talked about it, you know, at the previous time. If we can get that stop, this is what we're going to run. And kind of got broken down a little bit. We went early enough that we were able to get an offensive rebound, try to kick it out and get another look, but we were trying to get a 3 there and just couldn't get it down.
Anyone else in the room with a question? Chuck, we got somebody on Zoom?
Sure, we can start with Greg Luca, please.
Steve, what happened that Juice was unable to play today, and how much of an impact was that for your team?
Yeah, Juice injured his arm, shoulder against SMU at the very end of the game. It was extremely swollen. We had a week off. I think we had a week off after that one. We had several days off anyway, and he tried to get a ton of treatment and tried to practice a little bit. We put him in the game on Sunday, and he was pretty immobile. His arm's extremely swollen up, and he just couldn't contribute the way he wanted to, and the pain was continuing to increase. It's really hard to get the swelling out of there, so he just wasn't able to play. I guess the second part of that question. Yeah, I think the first half when we were struggling so badly offensively, Juice would have helped us there. We've got some good offensive players at times. We're a terrific offensive team, but there was a stretch there where we could have used a guy just to go get his own basket, and that's what Juice does best. He creates his own and can just go down there in the middle of the paint and pop up and score some points for us. We could have certainly used him in the first half.
Okay, go next to J.J. Perez.
Steve, have you talked with Lisa about your future? If not, when do you expect to have that conversation?
No, we have not talked about that at all. We've just been at our heads down, grinding away, trying to get better. Love the way our guys played at the end of the season. Lisa and I always talk at the conclusion of the season, so I'm sure we'll do that again in this case.
I know it's maybe hard to look at this in the moment, but how would you say you did coaching this year? It seems like you got the most out of this team.
Well, thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. I love this team. One of the most enjoyable groups of young men I've ever been around in all my days as a player or a coach. I've been doing it a long time. I've bounced around with a lot of teams, had a lot of teammates, a lot of players that I've had the good fortune to coach. I love this group, but honestly, I didn't think we played anywhere near our capabilities on the defensive end. You know, we built this roster with a 2-year plan in mind. I thought we were going to be pretty good this year. Coach Peck and Coach Hood were just unbelievable putting this roster together. I love this team on paper. I love the potential of this group. We just didn't defend well enough until the South Florida game, to be honest with you. And then all of a sudden we looked like the team that I thought we could be. So yeah, we lost a lot of close games, which always, I mean, that's going to skew your record. You got to find a way to win those games. You know, we go back and look, and there were just so many close games that went down to one shot or one call or one rebound, and that just changes everything. But love this group. We just didn't win enough games.
Okay, we'll go back to Greg Luca for another, please.
Steve, what is the path going forward to turning this program around? What has to happen to get it to the level that you would like this thing to be at?
Yeah, the trends. If you study the teams that are having success, it's a real fine line. You've got to have most of the teams that have success find the right transfers, and then they retain a percentage of them. You look at the teams that are at the tops of their leagues all across the country, they have some retention. You know, this group here, again, we set it up so that most of them would be back. Virtually every guy in that locker room wants to come back. Retention is important, and then piecing in the right transfers is very key. And again, I thought we did some of that this year. We just didn't win enough close ball games.
Got a couple more. Stephen Whitaker, please.
This is for Christian and PJ. You guys, as you look back on this season and today, what are some things that y'all can build on, and what are y'all's reflections on how this season went?
First, I just want to say, I just want to thank Coach Henson and the rest of the staff for, just believing in me and honestly just giving me a chance, and that's all I wanted. And second, my teammates, they put a lot of confidence in me. They also believed in me, and that's all I asked for. Just a group of guys who believe in all of each other, who want to win. So that's what I enjoy most about the group of guys, and I feel like it's a lot to build on. These last 4 weeks, we figured out something defensively. That switching, like Tuck said earlier, the last 4 weeks has been about belief. And every guy in that locker room believed in one another, and we wanted to win for each other. So I feel like if we just piggyback on that, come in with a different mindset, from the beginning about belief and trusting one another, then things will be a lot different.
Yeah, like you said, I'm just proud of everyone on the team, everyone in the organization. My teammates never gave up the whole entire season, and the coaching staff believed in all of us. And we had a rough stretch at the beginning of the season trying to figure out. We had 3 returners, and all the rest were new people, transfers. So Coach Henson doesn't get the credit that he deserves for putting that together, and the rest of the coaching staff too. So, I'm proud of this team. We didn't accomplish what we needed to, but we got a lot to learn and a lot of room to grow.
Take the last one from Dan Tortora, please.
Coach, this being a unique season in the transition to the American, just what the experience was like for you and the level of competition that you've gone up against in this conference?
Yeah, this was a terrific jump. The talent was improved. The competition every single night was terrific. People talked about the physicality. Leading into the season, we heard a lot about the physicality, how physical this league would be. I didn't notice it necessarily up front with the 4s and 5s and around the rim necessarily, but the perimeter guys in this league were just so much bigger, big power. All the guards in this league look like linebackers. But it was a lot of fun to get out and see all these other arenas, the facilities, the traditions in this league. It's an excellent basketball league, and we enjoyed it immensely.
And to the student athletes, you heard your coach say that he loves this team. What is it about your head coach that makes you want to fight for him night in and night out? What's so special about the leadership that he has?
Same thing, like Tuck said. We feel like he don't get enough credit. He just believe in all of us. It's that y'all really can see it day in and day out. He put a lot of confidence in us. It's the whole staff. I'm not gonna lie. They all believe in us. And we trust him. So they make it easy for us to go out there and play. They really think we can get it done, and we also believe we can get it done. So with them putting that trust and that confidence in us, it makes it easy for us to go out there and play.
Yeah, they got a lot of belief in us, and we believe in them too. They put in so much work, and sometimes I'll come to the gym late at night and they'll still be in there. So I know that they trust in us and they trust in themselves to get the job done, and they put us in the right position to be successful.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys.